again, NSS class. Today I'm going to show you something cool called the Teach Grant. So here we are on Google, ready to type into the search bar, Teach Grant. So if we are a first-time person looking into the Teach Grant, looking to apply for it, looking to look more about it, we're going to want to click this first link here. So this is going to take us to the Teach Grant page. The Teach Grant is federal student aid. It's through the same thing as FAFSA. It's through the federal government. It is a grant, not a loan, so you don't have to repay it. And I'm going to walk you through all the info about that and what that means. So here we are at the Teach Grant page. So we see all of this stuff here on the left side, all different things that we need to know. First, we're going to start with who can get a Teach Grant. That's a very important question. You're wondering, does this apply to me? Can I get it? So first, you have to qualify for federal student aid. Most people do, unless your parents make exorbitant amounts of money. And then the second thing is that you're going to have applied for FAFSA. Most of us have that in order to get our scholarships or our loans to the federal government. Next, you have to be enrolled in a program that participates in the Teach Grant program. St. Ambrose does participate in the Teach Grant. I am actually a recipient currently. You also have to be enrolled in a Teach Grant eligible program. We're going to talk more about what that means here in a minute. You also have to meet certain academic requirements. Looks here, most importantly to think about is keeping a 3.25 GPA. Our GPA that we have to maintain as education majors here at Ambrose is a 3.0 anyway, so it's not too much higher than that. Should be pretty feasible. And then the next steps would be filling out these grant counseling and agreement to serve, but we won't walk through that today. So next we want to talk about what is the Teach Grant. So as you can see here, it gives up to $4,000 a year to students who are studying to be teachers. Because of budget cuts, that number has actually gone down. So if you applied for that today and received it, you get this amount here. That's currently what I have received from the government for my most recent Teach Grant. And then if you go down here, there's some more info about what it is and what you need to do in order to get it. Most importantly, what we're going to talk to mostly about today is being in a high need field. The second part of this is that when you graduate and you enter a job, you're going to have to work at a school that serves low-income families, or otherwise a low-income school. There is a list of those available that I can make sure to get those out to you later, but that's not really a freshman year concern for most of us. What we really need to worry about is, are we studying in a high need field that could qualify us for the Teach Grant? So I'm going to go ahead and show you some more about that here now. I'm going to scroll down and look at what are high need fields. So there are two different areas of high need fields. There's the federally named high need fields, which are all listed here. That's for the entirety of the country, the whole nation. And those are bilingual education, or ELL, ESL, foreign language, so Spanish, French, etc., math, reading specialist, science, and any form of special education. Now, just because you're not on here, your major or endorsement area isn't on here, doesn't mean that you're not eligible to get the Teach Grant. As many of you may remember, I'm English and speech and theater for secondary ed, and as you can see, that is not listed on here as a high need field federally. It is listed on this list here as a high need field on the state level. So if you have an idea of what state you want to teach in, this could be an option for you as well. So I'm going to show you what some of the state high need fields are. So the thing that you need to remember about your high need field when looking at this list that I'm about to show you is that it needs to have been listed as a high need field during the year you entered school, which would be the 2020-2021 school year, all the way up through the year you graduate. So since you all are freshmen and a lot of the data isn't out yet in regards to high need fields, it's available but not fully fleshed out for every state. I would caution you against jumping in and signing up for it until you know that your area is going to be a high need field, so that you don't end up having to have it turn into loans, because if you don't fulfill the grant requirements, it turns into loans and you have to retroactively pay all of the interest it accrued. And that's just really something that you don't want to get yourself into. So here we are on the page. It's going to show us what the different high need fields are. You're going to scroll down through here. I'm going to go to this link here, click on it. They made it all online in a super accessible way. It used to have to be a PDF you had to scroll through, but now you can just click here to view the report. And they have this nice search tool. If you want to do the old school way, you can do it here too. But I'm going to show you what it looked like when I did it first. So I entered school in the 2017-18 school year. So I'm going to click that here. I am originally from Illinois, and I am getting all my classes to get endorsed in Illinois. And I really just want to teach in Illinois. So because of that, I looked into the Illinois requirements. I didn't click this because I wanted to see what was open. So we're going to hit submit. Give it a little time to think. The thing about if you click the subject matter and discipline, it narrows it down too much sometimes, and then you miss things that you actually probably could have qualified for, and we don't want to do that. So as you can see here, there's a few different ones that you can qualify for. There's just general shortages in the Chicago area school district, at risk, art and music education. This is a national one, so that one's not an issue. Driver's ed. And then we get down here to language arts, English, and language arts reading. And those are two things that I'm getting my area in. So while it's not on that federal list, this is the year I entered school. It's on there. It's a high need field. So I qualify for the Teach Grant, and I can teach in this area when I graduate and meet the grant requirements so that I can get it all paid back. So let me show you what they have for your year so far. I was looking into this. Also, since you'll be in school during the 2021 and 2022 year, you can do that as well. We'll go ahead and look at Iowa because we're all studying in Iowa and you'll have your Iowa licenses. We'll see what different areas are in here. I was looking into this earlier and it's not fully fleshed out. It's pretty basic right now with like a lot of the national areas that year to year have been seen as a problem. And these are also all projections. So it's always better that once the year is passed to look at it afterwards to make sure it's been updated, because that'll reflect the actual data of what the year showed. So it looks like they got family and consumer science, agriculture, physics. Though science is a national one. Yeah, there's special education, world languages. Those are all national ones. It looks like really there's just business education, gifted education, and all that listed now for Iowa. But this will be updated, so have no fear. You may not be on there now and you may not qualify now, but that doesn't mean that later next year you won't. Let's just look at Illinois just to see what Illinois has. Got to keep our options open. And if you want to go to California and that's where your dream is and that's where your heart goes, then that's always something you can look into too and get some free money for it. So here, elementary education, all grades, K through 8 is listed. So that is something, if you're interested in going to Illinois to teach, that's an avenue you could explore, and something that you qualify for if you're elementary ed. So that's the high need field part. After you've gone through that, you said, hey, I am a high need field. I think I'll have no problem teaching in a low income school when I graduate. I know what state I want to teach and I know where I want to go. Or even I meet one of the federal or national categories. Next, you're going to have to fill out a Teach Grant Agreement to Serve and learn a little bit more about the different obligations. Make sure you read through this thoroughly. There's a lot of technicalities, paperwork, and they're not going to make it easy on you, and you want to make sure you know what you're signing up for. Here's where you can find out what areas are low-income schools. Maybe you know an area you want to move to after graduation. You want to look into it, make sure that you have an idea of where you could go, what avenues are open for you. And then just some info like, well, what if I don't want to be in the Teach Grant anymore and I signed up for it and all that stuff. It's better to read through all of this now before you sign up for it. So I'm going to end this here. If any of you do look through this, you think about it, you decide, hey, I think the Teach Grant is for me. I think that that sounds like something I really want to do. Go ahead and send me an email and we can talk some more. Make sure that that's really something that is going to go well for you, something that's going to be helpful to you on your journey and not put you in a bad spot. And I can help walk you through in more detail how to sign up for it. But for now, that's all I have to show you. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And I hope you have a good day, morning, evening, whatever time it is when you watch this. And I'll see you all in class. Take care.